50. So in regards to like, do I like solving cubes? Like, if I didn't, I should not be running a cube store. So first things first, we have here the GAN 251 Air, GAN 251M Pro, GAN 251M Leap. The Air comes in at £18, the Pro comes in at £24, and the Leap comes in at £30. So as you can see here, they all measure in at pretty much exactly 51 millimeters, plus minus 0.1 millimeters, which is basically the tolerance of this thing. It's not perfectly accurate. And you can see here that their Air weighs about 50 grams, pretty much exactly, just like the GAN 11 Air actually. So interesting there. The GAN 251M Pro comes in at 56 grams, and the GAN 251M Leap comes in at 57.7, so basically 58 grams. So the GAN 251M Air comes with a pretty standard core, as you can see here. There's thus nothing special in the core, and inside here there's no magnets. It's just, yeah, simple normal mechanism, and they've also removed the stuff to hold the magnet in place, which makes it really light at only 50 grams. So yeah, very light. And yep, these pieces also break apart, so you can see the magnet there and the magnet there, so they link up. And I suppose theoretically you could put extra magnets in there if you wanted to, but they'd have to be pretty small to fit. The GAN 251M Air comes with just the basic corner edge magnets, just like in most 2x2s. And it's still quite fast. I would say probably still the best 2x2, except for the other GAN 2x2s. It is the first 2x2 other than the Valk 2 to have pretty much the full range of corner cutting, although I still think that the Valk 2 corner cutting is better. It's just so effortless how they managed to pretty much make it impossible for it not to be able to corner cut if you line the other layers up right. But the GAN 251M Air and the other versions are very close. So the GAN 251M Air is fast and pretty smooth, but not quite as smooth and stable as the other options because it doesn't have the extra magnets. It is also pre-installed with the blue GES nuts, which are weaker for some reason. The other two are installed with the green ones, but obviously this can be changed, so it's not a problem. So you can see here a new innovation from GAN, which comes with the Pro version, and it has some magnets in the core which connect to the corner. So corner magnets. It also has the standard magnets just like the Air version, which connect on like this, yeah, something like that. Yeah, and they can be broken apart. And you can also change the strength of the magnet like this, so stronger and weaker. The GAN 251M Pro comes in at £24, and it obviously has the corner core magnets. I've currently got it on the strongest setting just to compare it with the Leap, and it is still quite fast like the GAN 251M Air, but a bit more stable. So I personally quite like it like this. It's very smooth and stable and pretty reliable. So I've got some of my fastest times on this one. In fact, I think I've got my PBs on that one currently, including sub 4, average of 50. And finally, on the Leap, you can see that there is a much bigger magnet in the core, and it also connects onto the corner, which I presume is the same design. So it is much stronger magnets, and yeah, very strong. And apparently there's no overlap. I will obviously be testing that. So in terms of this being on the weakest setting and the Pro being on the strongest setting. So I will be testing that, and yeah, there's not much more to it. It's just large angle magnetic homing technology, or whatever LEAP stands for. And finally, I have here the GAN 251M LEAP. It comes in at £30 on speedcubing.org, making it by far the most expensive 2x2 on the market. But is it worth it? Quite possibly for some people. So I've put it on the weakest setting here to compare it with the Pro, which was on the strongest setting. And it is, you can sometimes have some problems testing for corner cutting here because it just lines up into place. So I can be trying to test and it just goes into place. So can you really test for sure the corner cutting? Not really. But that doesn't really matter because it basically has the full range anyway, pretty much, so you don't need to worry about that. And you can see that it does line up pretty much spot on, which is a very good improvement and just shows how the large magnet does work. It does allow it to go straight into place. However, this does feel a bit weird, and I suspect lots of 2x2 solvers will take a while to get used to this, but it could potentially be very useful in completely ensuring stability as it just goes straight into place. But it does feel a bit different. I did have one problem where I tried to do a U-perm and the last move didn't happen, whereas I'm pretty sure on any other 2x2 the last move would have gone ahead, but maybe I didn't make the last flick enough and it just held into place. It's very weird. So if you just want a GAN 2x2, then get the GAN 251M Air if you don't want to spend any more. I personally think that the GAN 251M Pro is probably the best for me at the moment. If you're serious about 2x2, I'd recommend trying the Leap. It's something you have to get used to, and I don't have the time and interest to actually practice enough to get used to it. But I think if you're serious about 2x2, you should at least try it and try and get used to it, because I think it could be a really good thing to have on 2x2. But for me, I'm going to stick with the Pro, probably keep it on the strong setting, but I might experiment around some more, I don't know yet. But yeah, there's not much more to say. The Air is probably still better than most other 2x2s, if not all other 2x2s, but I do think the Pro is the best 2x2 on the market at the moment for me, and the Leap could potentially be better, but has a very different, unique feel, which definitely requires some getting used to.